Referees for today's game, Carmen John Domenico, David St. Hubbins, and Nigel Tufnell, who thinks the scoreboard goes to 11. Brand now feeling a shot goal. If there's a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. Bob, can you tell me what the score is?
We are knotted at deuces, and that was a very nifty shot.
Championship level lacrosse is no stranger on Lake Avenue. The Lakers have been doing it for years. Recently, one man stepped away, and today it's time for these guys to step up. Thanks for joining us here at Boys Latin. I'm Parker Corrigan alongside Bob Shriver. Shriver, we showed some of the title roles. What do you think of Calvert Hall BL? What does Calvert Hall have to do today?
Win some face-offs, which they've struggled at this year a little bit, but play Calvert Hall lacrosse, which is fast-paced. They want to stretch it 110 yards, 60 yards wide. They want to chase you all over the field and really make it, we call it fireball a little bit. Just put the ball on the ground and we're going to beat you.
And for Boys Latin, coming off a surprising outcome over at Loyola, what do you look for the Lakers to do today?
Well, we'd like to see them play a little better, quite honestly. They lost to McDonald last week on Friday. Then they turned back around and lost to Loyola on Tuesday. And they weren't ready to play on Tuesday. So I think we'll see BL at the very least be ready to play today, and they need to bring their best effort.
And as we always do here, Bob picks a couple guys to highlight for the Calvert Hall Cardinals. Who are we keeping our eyes on?
Well, we'll start with number one in the goal, Liam Dara. Liam's had a tremendous career. He won the championship last year. This year he's gotten off to a hot start, but he got pulled the other day against St. Mary's. We look for Liam to bounce back in a big way. Number 9, he doesn't need too much of an introduction. Jacob Kelly is coming off what we saw last Friday against McDonald, one of the worst, 2 weeks ago against McDonald, one of the worst games he's ever played. He was sick, and he just didn't have it. Well, he exploded Friday night in a tight game against St. Mary's, scoring 4 goals in the last quarter, and they pulled away. And then on defense, number 35, Garrett Zangalia. We watched him in the McDonough-Calvert Hall game. This kid's about 6'4", 6'5", and he's terrific. He played a great game against Liam Powderly, and we were just so impressed with him. We'll look to see what he has today.
And God bless Zangalia. He didn't commit until a couple months ago. So we love that. How about for the Boys Latin Lakers? They're coming off something. How are they going to get rid of it?
Well, we start 2 juniors and a sophomore on defense, but the most experienced is number 5, Reagan McNamara. He's just a junior, but he's been starting for 3 years. And Reagan hadn't played the kind of lacrosse I think he feels he's capable of, and I look for Reagan to bounce back big time today. Right after Reagan, number 6, we highlight him a lot, but the face-offs are always crucial, and especially for BL. Peyton Giverson, just a sophomore, but he's very good at his craft, and we look for him to have a good day because Calvert Hall has struggled a little bit at the X. And then number 36, Matt Brandow, 4-year varsity player, starting attackman, one of the captains. Matt also hasn't been at his best this whole year. He's had a couple sensational games, but he hadn't pieced them together. And Boys Latin needs Matt to show up big time today.
This is the Kelly & Associates MIAA Game of the Week presented by FCA Lacrosse. Thrilled to have you guys joining us from the Valley Inn. We will be back with some starters and the face-off after this.
Kelly & Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, payroll, and workforce challenges. Kelly & Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll is pleased to support CSE TV and the Game of the Week. Visit kellyway.com to put their people, technology, and services to work for you.
Beautiful setting, as always, here on Lake Avenue. Boys Latin Lakers will be wearing their home whites. Calvert Hall Cardinals from just across Towson will be in their road red tops, white shorts. Bob, we went back and forth talking about Liam Dara starting or whether they were going to go with Jackson Marshall. It seems like they're going to go with Dara. How do you support? How do you like that?
He's proven. He's the proven commodity. Jackson really is still just a sophomore. He played pretty well in the end of the St. Mary's game the other day. But, you know, Liam, took him to a title last year. Got off to a really good start this year. He struggled under the lights at St. Mary's, not unusual on a Friday night.
Sure.
He'll bounce back.
And let's talk about your visiting coach, Brian Kelly. We had a chance to catch up with him today. What'd you learn, Bob?
Well, we learned that you didn't realize that he has 5 boys, not 4.
Yeah. I thought he was
all the way down to a 6-year-old.
He is one of 4 boys, and at one point he had 4 boys. There's Brian Farrell. How long have you known Brian?
I've
Coach?
known Brian since he came to a camp here when he was in like the 2nd grade or 3rd grade. And then he came to school here in the 6th grade, and I had the privilege and pleasure of coaching him when he was on the varsity for 3 years.
And I had the misery of coaching against him. And I mean that in the highest way. The face-off dot's going to be big today. Number 30, Han McPartland facing off for Calvert Hall. And, of course, you talked about Peyton Giberson. This is a game within the game, isn't it, Bob?
Always is. And Calvert Hall, the one place where they've had a little trouble this year is at the face-off X. The MIAA game they lost to McDonough really came down a little bit to the face-off X. McDonough was 11 for 13.
And in an odd turn of events, McPartland wins the faceoff and then immediately loses the ball.
Good check by Ubriaco there.
And a big
to put the ball on the ground.
A big hearty hello to everybody at the Valley Inn. My man Bailey behind the bar serving up everything you need. And Pelks, of course, running the show, keeping it on lockdown. Here's Grimes. Grimes behind now to the freshman Smith.
Stepped right out of bounds. Didn't realize he was on the end line. Bad play
and
to start the game.
This is his home field, too, so that's up.
Well, you could classify that as a freshman mistake.
Yeah. Although he played like much more than a freshman against in a game we saw here in the Kelly & Associates MIAA Game of the Week presented by FCA Lacrosse as Calvert Hall gets the clear. Both these teams like to press out. It'll be interesting to see the pace at which they play. And here comes the Cardinal midfielders.
Booker, we're going to see a little change in the midfield. Coach Kelly took Zach Green off the attack and switched first midi. Jack Sawyer back is now starting on attack, and
Number
Zach's
6.
back playing midfield, and he's running. Subbing in with him is the Mitchell brother, Connor, who has not played much this year. He's had a hamstring injury. Now the 2 brothers are running on the same midfield together.
This is
and we know they're both huge guys, and then Herbert in the middle of them is just as big as they are.
Little 2-2-2 offense right now. Sawyer behind, and here is Kelly. Up top to Mitchell, and now it's Herbert. 2. Herbert. Connor Mitchell, number 11, here on the left wing. And now it's Grant Mitchell, and you do get a feeling for the size of these young men. Pass into the middle. Daniel Kelly handles. And
they haven't done much with the ball. I don't know what these refs are thinking. They're about to give them a warning, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right to see it coming. Yeah, here they go.
Early in the game.
Bob, you've seen a game or two. Shot just wide, backed up effectively by the Cardinals, Jack Sawyer. Sawyer, nice little player on the inside, nice little player on the outside, but can he bring in 3 goals a game? And Mitchell gets caught up in his dodge. Head down, McNamara goes in.
That's a slash, no call.
And Brandow quickly gets it across. Blake Gable, number 8 for the Lakers, as substitutions all through the box. Here's Chris Brandow, Reagan McNamara. And here's Basil Aburn down the wing. Matt Brandow, Ubriaco open temporarily on the inside, but they select zone 5.
Open. He's still open.
Yeah, he is.
Frequently, Booker, we talk about this all the time. Poles and short stick defensive middies get lost in the wash a lot. We saw really a huge goal McDonough scored at the end of their Calvert Hall game on that play.
Hey, Dan Aburn is the other member of our broadcast crew from Inside Lacrosse. Dan, what are you picking up on the far side over there?
I'm loving the matchup so far in this game. I think on this end of the field that you're watching right now, the matchup to watch is Zungalia going against Brando. On the other end of the field, Jacob Kelly for Calvert Hall going against Michael Ubriaco for Boys Latin. Loving the pace of the game so far, but we still need a goal.
Yeah, take the lids off the baskets, right?
I thought that was going to be the first one right there.
Yeah, Would have been a nice cue, but that's only Bob Shriver. Dan, sorry about that, but Bob's the only one who gets to make that call. I've seen too many games alongside the great Bob Shriver. Sorry to ooh and ah over you, Bob, but you do have a knack. Here is Brandow. Gets the corner, shot just wide, and now we get the flag.
Late hit on somebody. Who did he call it on?
Man Up's brought to you by Towson Hot Bagels. Go to my THB. Download the app. Catering, deli, breakfast, and lunch.
Booker, they called this on number 3.
That was you want to establish a tempo.
Let's see. No, they're not bringing that back. That's okay. BL starting in the extra man. 2-3-1 from the top. They'll get a little motion out of this. Typically, they roll into some sort of a 3-3 set.
Grimes, Kaplan, number 41, throws and cuts. Here's Grimes. Replace on the near side, skip pass into the middle. And Kraus now top center. Shares with Grimes. Kraus wants it. Backed up by Brandow. 36 seconds remaining in the penalty. Plenty of time, Bob.
Plenty of time. BL's in a little bit of the same setup, a 2-3-1, just keeping the ball behind, trying to get it to Brandow because he's the extra man behind the goal. He needs to be the initiator. They need to get that ball back to him, see if they can't draw somebody off the corner. There he is.
Here he comes, backside, shot just over the cage. And like you said, Bob, great way to get a shot off. 11 now in the penalty.
They would have loved to have had Grimes or Kaplan take that shot.
Yep. Instead, it's up top. Little fake flip by Kraus, and he does flip it. Grimes, nifty toe drag and a slam dunk 5-hole for Brendan Grimes.
Well, they finally got the ball to Grimes on that corner, and as you said, he makes a great play. There's a little fake flip up in the corner. Many teams do this. Calvert Hall will even do that. And a really beautiful move by Grimes, pulling his stick, great face dodge, and he threw the ball around Darrow. You cannot throw it through him. You know, he fills up a lot of the game.
There. Either way, a nifty finish by Brendan Grimes.
And you did get that.
I will make sure that it's duly noted because you've been killing me this year, Bob. Killing me. He's finding more change than I am. Giberson and McPartland back at the logo. And McPartland.
That was a very, in my opinion, that was a very poorly administered face-off.
Yeah.
You know, when you step back, you can't hold these kids for 3 or 4 seconds. Blow the whistle in a second or two. You know, you want to vary the cadence up, but I think when you get beyond 2 or 3, it's really hard on any of them.
So
that
go quick.
Could have been just as easily Ham moved.
Yeah, why not go quick if you're the ref? And referees, if you're listening,
now here's Green.
We want you to go quickly.
Sorry, Booker. Here's Green running on midfield, but he's also an attack. Oh, he just dropped the ball out of bounds.
That makes up for the one that where BL has. So now we're even on the
other end of the field.
On the end line, oopsies. Referees for today's game: Carmen D. John Domenico, Richard Montgomery McGee, and Maceo Parker, a veteran crew. Here's Reagan McNamara, wants to shoot that, does, and it's backed up by Grimes, clearly.
Boysland was ready for that 10-man ride, and a good shot that just missed going on cage. Good backup by Grimes.
Yeah, that's the other thing you have to remember is that backup as part of your breaking the ride. Grimes looking to turn the corner, goes high. I love the shot selection. Fake low, go high. It's going to be BL ball.
There's Zungalia, who we watched in the McDonough game. Brilliant chasing shots out of bounds. Brilliant at it. He just almost got that for Calvert Hall. Fortunately for BL, number 21, Cole.
Number 3, Mason Russell, now in the game.
Sorry, excuse me, Cole Erickson was closest to the ball.
Here's Russell behind. Will stumble dodge, strip Delicious. Tough time behind the cage, and now they come away with it.
Harold Lloyd hadn't played much this year. I'm sure he's a little nervous right there. They've inserted him into the lineup. He's very, very quick and fast, and he inverted the wrong guy, which was Jack Conley, who's Calvert Hall's LSM.
Yeah. First quarter brought to you by your friends at the Valley Inn. Get there. Great chance to throw your graduation, your commencement. anniversary parties, the Valley Room upstairs, as the shot goes high and wide by the Lakers. Brandow slams on the brakes, gets hit as he shoots, and another shot that's going to just make it to the sideline. The Valley Inn is the spot for your graduation party, rehearsal dinner, or anniversary celebration that makes the whole family happy. The Valley Inn is a favorite for pre- and post-game celebrations, casual get-togethers, or a great happy hour. Here's Russell, shake and bake, comes out lefty, draws the long stick and moves it. Lakers had him spinning right there, Bob, but elected with the 1-0 lead here to possess. This is back to Lloyd. Now it's Russell. And he's got some pressure, and they're going to call a moving pick there.
Booker.
No delay of the game.
Sorry, last Friday when we did the Boys Lad McDonough game, very similar first period start.
Yeah.
Against McDonough, BL had the ball a lot. At the end of the quarter, it was 2-1. This has been all BL. Calvert Hall hadn't taken a shot yet, but looking at the scoreboard, it's still just 1-0. So they don't have as much to show for how much possession they've had. And credit Calvert Hall's stellar defense for that.
As the clock ticks down to the 4:20 mark, let's get down to Dan Aber. Dan, are you getting a sense of the failed clears and pressure on teams to get the ball out of their end?
Yeah, definitely one thing to watch for Boys Latin is their hustle on the ride. I was at their game on Tuesday against Loyola, and they were able to cause quite a few turnovers in that regard. And then, think about that Calvert Hall game against McDonough, I think 2 or so weeks ago, when they had like 5 straight failed clears. So I feel like if Boys Latin is going to find some opportunities to get some extra possessions, it could be off the ride, so watch for that in this game.
Dan Aburn from inside Lacrosse. Lakers running some 1-4. Bob, you like their offense as it's evolved so far?
They're moving their bodies, which they didn't do the other day, Booker. Against Loyola, they were very stagnant. Yep. One guy kind of dodging, everybody watching. But today, everybody seems to be moving in sync. They've got their motion offense moving pretty well.
And Krause doing a nice job getting a shot up there. Here's now Brandow, and they're going to get all the way back up to Krause. Brendan fakes right, goes right, shot, goal! Brendan Krause,
that was
senior.
I don't want to say a little fortunate. Watch this. Conley makes a really good check on there, and I think Krause was pulling that ball to the far pipe, and this check, watch Conley, gets right behind it, gets a piece of that, and he also almost forced that ball to the near pipe, and Dara couldn't get down to it. Watch this. Watch. And I think instead of him going to the far pipe, that was a big break for Gilman. Unfortunate one for Boys Latin. Unfortunate one for Calvert Hall.
I tell you what, the Boys Latin alumni department, their phone just rang off the hook when you referred to them as Gilman.
Well, I was thinking about the Gilman clears. I was thinking about the Gilman clears.
I know. I got you, though. I don't know you're rolling on a 420. Great play on the inside, and now we got trouble. A cross check towards the face of my man,
no
KD.
Call. How did they miss that one? That's fascinating.
I don't know, and that's my buddy KD, who I coach for the Loonies 2019 team.
That's fascinating.
He got a little bit phased, and here he makes the simple play. Calvert Hall looking to make something happen on the ride, and now the Lakers might be underneath them. Russell at full steam.
Russell can run. He's got really good speed. Big clear. Giberson, the face-off guy, stayed on the field and participated in that clear.
The Valley Inn has a spectacular wine list, delicious menu. Teams and groups can reserve the upstairs Valley Room or the patio for that special occasion or celebration of any size. Make the Valley Inn your choice. Right there on Falls Road, Bob. I will be there post-game. Lakers up 2-0 here in the Kelly & Associates Game of the Week presented by FCA Lacrosse as Russell retreats and comes out righty. Here's Brandow, recently selected the Under Armour All-American Senior Squad. Smith. Brandow comes up now and sets a pick. They look to go pick and roll, and it gets knocked down. And Brandow comes up with a loose ball. That could have been a hold.
Good save, Dara.
Great save by Liam Dara there. And a great fake on the ride. That's going to help them clear the ball this time. I can't see a number there. I believe it's number 20 for Calvert Hall had a fabulous, or as you like to say, Bob, a lovely fake to get out of. He was double teamed on the end line. And
that's Connor Mary. He's another Calvert Hall player who's been hurt a lot of this season so far. It's good to see him back out on the field.
Coach Kelly, Brian Kelly for Calvert Hall, has had to deal with some obstacles, as has Coach Brian Farrell. I mean, you don't coach in the MIAA and not have to put out a couple fires during the course of a season. Here are the Cardinals' first midfield. Mitchell, and Herbert.
This feels like an important possession for Calvert Hall right here.
Oh, big low to high shot there. Dan, how was your angle on that?
If you're talking about the fake on the defensive end of the field, he fooled both players, and the Calvert Hall bench loved it.
Yeah, no, the shot that I believe it was Mitchell just took, the low to high, I think you're right on that angle.
Yeah, he just missed about, by half a foot, I would say.
I'm just glad my car's not down in that lot. Somebody's getting dinged. Oh, Cole Herbert on the run, lefty there, Bob.
Well, you pick your poison when you're playing Calvert Hall defensively in the middle of the field. They've elected to pull Herbert, and that puts those two monster Mitchell brothers with shorties. BL's got a couple big kids playing defensive midfield. This is Nick Lozana on Grant Mitchell. Nick's a very good, skilled athlete.
Throw back to Herbert. Here's Connor Mitchell. Rolls back right. He comes out shooting. Save Brandow. Flag flies. Ubriaco makes the catch. And we got a high hit, it looks like. First quarter brought to you by your friends at the Valley Inn.
That's too bad.
Always a fun time.
That's the same guy who missed the Calvert Hall cross-check to the face, and he sees one from 30 yards away from him. There's a referee right in front of the plate. He doesn't make the call.
Either way, waste of a great save by Brandow there.
Yeah, Brandow made that save look easy. Chris Brandow, fabulous goaltender. I understand he didn't have a ton of saves against Loyola, but every now and then you have those games. Here's your fake flip.
And they look for
Herbert.
They look for Jacob Kelly on the inside. Calvert Hall is going to be intent on holding this ball and hoping that they can get it to start the second quarter instead of having to have a face-off. And they're successful.
It'll be Calvert Hall possession when we return to the Kelly & Associates MIAA Game of the Week, presented by FCA Lacrosse. We'll see you at the Valley Inn.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes engages their coaches and athletes to grow their faith through sport. Make sure you investigate the amazing camp at Lebanon Valley College this July. The FCA has camps, clinics, huddles, teams. Learn more about the Fellowship of Christian Athletes by going to fcalax.com.
At Toyota, we know the journey is as important as the destination. That's why no detail was overlooked. RAV4 is perfect for your adventures, with plenty of cargo space and available all-wheel drive. And with all these active safety features standard, we're always along for the ride. Now lease a versatile RAV for only $189 a month, or buy with $1,500 cash back, or 0% APR plus $500 finance cash. RAV4, your destination, our journey. What drives you? Toyota. Let's go places.
Second quarter, ready to go. It's going to be Calvert Hall extra man here at Boys Latin Booker Corrigan. Bob Shriver bringing it to you. Calvert Hall in the man up in their red. Boys Latin home whites here at J. Duncan Smith Field. A field, Bob, that I would imagine you hold near and dear. The Hall.
Been a lot of great memories on this field.
The Hall content to move it momentarily. Here's Alardo. And Brandow took that in the body. That can't tickle. Oh, yeah, I'm seeing Chris Brandow, goaltender for BL, double over a little bit as the Cardinals.
Just a little slip play there.
Just a late foul. That's an unfortunate turn of events right there for the Lake Show. Tough call in there. Jack Sawyer makes the catch. Here's a replay of it, Bob. What do you see?
Well, I see a push for sure. That looks like they called 33 for in the head.
Okay.
On the slide in front, he got squeezed. He got kind of sandwiched. It's a good call.
I'm fine with it. Protect the head.
It's a good call. Absolutely.
Protect the head.
Absolutely. Now we'll see if they're going to give him a full minute. Non-releasable. Yep, it's going to be a 2-minute non-releasable. That's a little unfortunate.
Dan, what are you hearing, my man?
2-minute unreleasable, basically helmet-to-helmet collision. Of course, it helps that it happened right in front of the Calvert Hall bench.
Yeah, I'm sure they might have lobbied right away for 2 minutes, and I'm all for protecting the head, so have at it.
Definitely surprising there, though.
Some man-up face-off opportunities if Calvert Hall can score. There's still a young man named Chris Brandow. Backdoor pass.
Terrific.
And that is a great cross-crease pass by
Boys
Cole
Latin
Herbert.
Playing 4-men on defense because they were down 2 at the time. This is a great play by Calvert Hall. Herbert comes to the goal line extending and just throws it to the backside. Very tough to get down to that backside when you got 4 on the perimeter. Now it's a man-down face-off for Boys Latin.
Beautifully
Boys Latin's
executed.
just gotten a bench technical, and Calvert Hall doesn't even have to face this off.
So now
I'm sure BL's complaining probably over on the sideline about
the 2
call,
minutes.
the 2 minutes. And again, I'll go back to the play down here at the other end of the field where Calvert Hall cross-checked a kid in the face mask. It wasn't a vicious, but it was in the face, and they didn't call it. So I'm sure BL's a little disappointed about the way these penalties have.
And they've gone the way of the Cardinals so far. We'll see how it goes. What did say Brandow? Not up in here. Think you can get away with that? See that kind of shot every day. Oh, and in the crease with possession.
No
I guess
call.
that's it. Yeah, but that's
his hand was in the crease.
That's a little
it doesn't
nitpicky.
matter. It's a penalty.
I know. Well, if it was the BL guy, would you say it?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. I think we might see a flag there. Now we got whistles flying. Whistle from the far side. I think we get a timeout on the far side. Everybody needs a timeout.
Here, let's see this.
Here it is.
Let's see.
The fans
my goodness gracious,
happy.
That's
and the
that's
referee's right there.
egregious.
We're going to
That's
break.
egregious.
Nobody's going anywhere.
That is phenomenally a bad break for BL.
The champions of today inspire the stars of tomorrow over Memorial Day weekend. Just as the stars of college lacrosse will compete for the 2018 NCAA Championship in Foxborough, Massachusetts, youth lacrosse players from across the nation will also be playing for a title at the NCAA Future Champions Tournament. Each team will receive 20 tickets to the NCAA Championships and have the opportunity to be recognized on the field at Gillette Stadium. To learn more, check us out at cselax.com.
Let's give everybody a chance to step away. Bob, we're back on the NCAA lacrosse rankings. Maryland, Albany, Duke, Denver. The Mothers Against Drunk Driving, 1 through 4, Mad. Then you have Yale. I'm impressed with Yale. Where are you on Yale?
Well, we get a chance to see Yale's playing Albany on Sunday. That's a huge game. I think Connor Field's coming back to play for Albany this weekend. Cornell has been sensational here in their last 7 or 8 games.
Quietly sensational. And there's Hopkins.
Well, Hopkins, I think, is going to have to play a game or 2, maybe more than that without Shaq Stanwyck. I think he got a pretty bad injury sustained in the Penn State game the other day that they lost.
And he just got drafted. As we come back to action here, Calvert Hall possession, 10:44 left in the second quarter. Second quarter brought to you with a Mason-Dixon line shootout, the first ever Mason-Dixon line shootout, November 10th and 11th, 2018. Go to cselax.com for details. cselax.com. Here's Jacob Kelly. Patch and catch. Shot. Goal. Ladies and gentlemen, just like the day after a bad chili cook-off, we are knotted at deuces. Grant Mitchell with a rip.
Boys Latin plays pretty well. You know, Mitchell's out here at around 15 yards and blasts this thing high and away. An incredibly precision-made shot. Look at where that thing went.
Yeah.
Tough save.
And that
it's too bad Brandow just made a huge save at the other end that looked like they might be able to stave off this 2-minute non-releasable. They're still down a man
Still a
for
minute.
another minute. And we could go back and we'll show that replay of the foul that was not called against Calvert Hall. And that's just a tremendous break.
My man Josh with some amazing camera work on that play. And Calvert Hall wins the ensuing faceoff. Now they have 45 seconds. Coach Brian Kelly is going to take a timeout. We are as well. This is the Kelly & Associates MIAA Game of the Week presented by FCA Lacrosse. Calvert Hall, man up. Boys Latin still down a man for 47 seconds. Booker Corrigan and Bob Shriver bringing it to you. There's Dan Aburn. Dan, what are you learning down there, my friend?
Well, I've got Glenn Graham of the Baltimore Sun kind of asking a very interesting inquiry. When was the last time Boys Latin lost 3 games in conference in a row? We were talking a little bit. We probably don't know. Maybe you know, Bob. You've been around this program as long as anybody, so.
I really don't know the answer to that.
It actually was. I will tell you the answer to the question was March 23rd, 35th, and 37th of 2000. Never. They've never lost 3 straight games. Mitchell down the wing. Urbe. Now Zerlardo cutting shot goal. Ilardo making his presence felt. The big boy Peter. Extra man star, Bob, and there's still Calvert Hall time on the power play.
Booker, we could beat it up till we're blue in the face, but when you get these 2-minute non-releasables, you got to cash them in, and Calvert Hall's doing a great job cashing it in. They won that face-off, had about 50 seconds. It would have taken them 10 or 15 seconds to get their subs in.
Yep.
Coach Kelly correctly and called a timeout to save that time, and they still got 24 seconds left in this non-releasable.
Coach Kelly, the veteran of the MIAA, the longest tenured coach in the league, as BL wins a faceoff right there. Peyton Giberson, that was a crucial faceoff, and now they try the 40, 50-yard pass, and the Lakers have given possession to the Cardinals momentarily. Here's Liam Dara, a couple nice saves for him. Calvert Hall's Jake Snyder, number 47, doing a nice job as Cardinals now all of a sudden now caves to the dropsies. Mitchell gets it quickly over the midfield line. They still have to get it in the box, which they do, and now the penalty has expired. 3-2 Cardinals. Second quarter brought to you by the Mason-Dixon Line Lacrosse Shootout.
Well, Calvert Hall just scored 3 extra man goals. One of them they were 2 men up, and then when they still had the 2-minute non-releasable, they scored 2 more. And right in the middle of that, at 2-1, Brandow Chris made a great save. Boys Latin was clearing the ball and really clearly got hit in the head, and no call. And that really set up those next 2 goals. It was an unfortunate break for BL and a good break for Calvert Hall.
There's no doubt we still have a lot of lacrosse left to play. Lakers are going to have to overcome a little obstacle as Mitchell looks to make something happen.
Pick, and that's
they called
there's
one of those.
A penalty, and that's a penalty that they don't call.
Well, he rolled into the spot where it was foul.
You got to drop the ball. You have to drop the ball.
And we get a foul from the far side.
See, there's a makeup call.
That's okay. Wouldn't you rather have the makeup call or not than not have it?
You need one. You need a
I think
makeup
we got Bob
call.
going. We got Bob going a little bit today.
Well, look, I've got to profess. I worked here for a lot of years. I got a little maroon in my blood, but you want it to be fair.
Yeah.
And so far,
yep, that's the first makeup call.
Fair,
so like I said, plenty of lacrosse left, right?
Absolutely.
Safe to say, though, that penalties called or not is the story of the game so far.
A lot of ebbs and flows in all aspects of the game, and right now, the Lakers with the 30-second man advantage. Man Up's brought to you by Towson Hot Bagels, my THB. Download the app now. Brandow.
Flip.
Kraus, fake flip. Oh, he's going to have some there. Shot, goal, and we are now tied up at 3, and that's the freshman Ben Smith. But that's more about the man-up play than it is the shooter, isn't it, Bob?
Booker, everybody, it seems, runs these fake flips or flips. In this case, Brandow fakes it to Kraus. Here, watch. He keeps the ball. He's looking inside, but Calvert Hall's guilty of, not guilty, they covered it inside, and so he threw it down to the wing, and Smith shot that ball around Dara. Nice play.
Well, you got
good response for Boys Latin.
You got 2 great coaches over there running offense. Brian Farrell, a defensive great coach, and they have a ton of great on the staff at BL. But Gene Ubriaco and Brian Nee, I respect the heck out of the way they coach offensive lacrosse, and that was a clear example of it. Iverson, and that might be a foul.
Lord. This is just, this is
I don't know how that wasn't, but we'll have to.
My only guess is that one of the officials is clearly not as experienced as the other 2, and that frequently happens. You know, they're working new guys in, and maybe one of the
they don't want to show each other up, or
one
make
of the
a call
less
they shouldn't
experienced guys is not doing as good a job.
Yep, that's too bad. But again, it's still 3-3, and they're making breaks for themselves now. Ball up.
Stone cold fast break, Booker.
Aburn to Brandow, tries to connect with Grimes, and it's going to be Calvert Hall possession. I love the idea.
Yeah, he didn't. Matt was guilty, I think, of not having his feet set properly, and the ball sailed on him a little bit.
Ben Smith doing a nice job in the ride, passing off the short sticks, but Calvert Hall gets Grant Mitchell in, and we got a violation. I didn't see what it was, Bob.
I think they had too many men on the field, or the guy left the box too soon.
Too many subs, yeah.
So a guy left the box. Dan Aburn from Inside Lacrosse joined us on the sideline. What's the mood on the sideline, Dan, right now with the calls? I mean, we've talked about it a little bit. What are you hearing back and forth?
I mean, I feel like, you guys' reaction in the booth is kind of what the coaches are going through right now. A little bit of confusion as to the way that the game is being called. It feels like some clear penalties are not being called, and then some questionable penalties are being called, and I feel like it's left both staffs a little bit frustrated.
That's great insight by Dan Aburn. It certainly has. You try and figure out how the game's going to be officiated. Calvert Hall looking to clear now 35. Garrett Zingalia. I like his game. And now Calvert Hall settles with Harrison Ewing. Number 21 steps in and gets off. Mitchell, and Herbert look like the midfielders that the Cardinals are going to run with today.
Well, what both teams hope and what the fans hope is that the officials stop influencing the game and they let the kids play a little bit. Make the calls that should be made, and then the rest of it let the kids play.
Mitchell checked as he releases. 5:48 to go now, second quarter. This is the Kelly & Associates MIAA Game of the Week presented by FCA Lacrosse.
Booker, this first midfield of Calvert Hall's got about 650, 700 pounds.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm on it.
It's and here's Daniel with the little shorty. He and his brother Jacob will run this little two-man game.
Jacob looks to get it back. Crease feed shot. What a save, Brandow! No soup for you. What a reaction. Quick hands by Chris Brandow.
Great look by Daniel Kelly, or was that Jacob that fed him? I apologize. It was a great look. Sawyer wide open on the crease. Nice catch.
Kevin Davis, number 17, KD, making that one. Now it's back with him. And they're going to play a little bounce pass across. McNamara handles, and they know they're getting close to the 30-second timer to get it in.
No,
and there it is.
Much time.
That's
good
a good
ride by Calvert Hall. Great ride. Forced the BL to throw it cross field 3 times, and by the time they got it over the midline, the clock was ticking on that 30-second violation.
And just for our viewers, the referees have a 20-second timer, which is invisible. Then it goes off, and you hear a buzzing sound, and then they start with the noticeable and the visual 10-second count, the waving of the arm like you see so often in basketball. Here's Connor Mitchell. off the hamstring injury that you alluded to earlier, Bob. Clock just inside the 4:20 mark now here in the second quarter.
Here's Zach Green, who was starting on attack for most of the year.
Great save by Brandow. Rebound flies around. Sawyer will gather as he jiggles it. And Sawyer escapes with possession. There's a second chance one.
And they're taking Grant out of the game. Going to sub in the other member of this midfield that's playing with Harrison Ewing, excuse me.
Jake Kelly as Chris Brandow playing well in front of his older brother, Tim Brandow, who's in attendance today. Had a chance to catch up with Timmy B. He said to say hello to you, Bob.
Successful clear, nicely done. Good save by Brandow at one end, and then his brother see if he can orchestrate a little offense at this other end.
Still tied 3-3. And Bob, that was one of those second chance possessions, but Brandow made, one save, rebound, Calvert Hall gets it back, makes a second save, clean, clear it.
Yep. Good observation, Booker. Those second chance opportunities, they typically come back and bite you.
Krause, Tucker Booth, and Basil Aburn. This is Booth. Gets it behind. Brandow pops for it. Brandow with a little green room with which to work. Inside feed. Booth has it checked.
Nice.
And Booth kind of caught that in a beehive.
He was in heavy traffic. Not a great feed.
But BL with a chance to ride. They've done it a couple times today.
Smith is a really terrific short stick defensive midi. Nice ride by BL, turning them back. BL's trying to do the same thing that Calvert Hall just did to them. Keep them back here for a while.
And that timer will start ticking. See, they're going to have to get it in.
Successful. 30 seconds, a long time, Booker. And Calvert Hall just showed you it looked like they were going to get squeezed. They still had about 4 or 5 seconds.
Kelly & Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance benefits, payroll, and workforce challenges. Kelly & Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll is pleased to support CSE TV and the Game of the Week. Cole Herbert, shot, save Brandow. Brandow finds it quickly, looks to push it up the field. A.J. Hernandez.
Over his head. Great ride by Calvert Hall. They do a sensational job. They force that ball across the field under duress, and Boys Latin just threw it up over his head. Here's another second chancer.
The action is getting wild and the weather is getting awesome. Check down low, shot, goal, 2 seconds left. These are the games that you'll be talking about for years to come. Log on to MIAALacrosse.com and make a single game purchase of $10 or buy the whole package. Rivalry Day, plus a quarterfinal, plus both semifinals, plus the championship, all for just $45. This is championship level lacrosse in Baltimore, and you're going to need to see it all. MIAALacrosse.com. Shriver here on the campus of BL. There's your Varsity Sports Network weekly rankings. Loyola, McDonough, Calvert Hall. And there you see Calvert Hall BL with the Stars next one. That's who we're watching. You like St. Paul's in that 4-hole, Bob?
Well, St. Paul's got a huge game today. They're playing McDonough right now. Loyola and McDonough are both up at the top 4-1, but Calvert Hall, Boys Latin have only played 4 league games so far. So some of that stuff will flip. St. Mary's at 6. This is a heavy loaded group of teams so far this year.
And I'll tell you, Bob, you need Judge Joe Murphy to come in here and sort out some of those things. When things get crazy, there's only one guy you can look for and sort it all out. This is an amazing location for a game. Bob, did you know how lucky you were to coach here when you were coaching here?
Absolutely.
You did?
Even when we didn't have this beautiful stadium with turf on it and a beautiful set of stands, it was always a great atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know, you're down in this glen, trees around it. They haven't even started budding yet, and it's April 18th.
You know,
they should be in full bloom by now.
Yeah, because it's freezing. Here's Calvert Hall on offense. 3-3 your score. We've been stuck on threes for a bit, Bob. Here's Mitchell. Grant Mitchell driving righty. Spikes it. Might be called for intentional grounding right there. Sawyer follows through.
Nice defense by Nick Lozana there, forcing Mitchell a little bit out of his comfort zone. Mitchell just wants to get his hands free, as his brother right here does. Same thing. They just want to get their hands free because they can bring the heat.
And that Lenzana, he's ready to take on the Catalina wine mixer. He's a fine little defender. Shot that time by
That time Mitchell had his hands free. Coming down the hash marks, the danger spot.
He does like
those football hash marks.
Here's Jacob Kelly, head of steam, left-handed. Gets a Cole Herbert hitch. Shot goes wide now, 35 seconds remaining, second quarter. Do you start holding for the last shot? We're going to take a timeout here for Calvert Hall, their last. Dan, we're going to stay here during the break. What do you hear from the Calvert Hall sideline between the benches?
Well, first I want to point out, I feel like the game has settled down a little bit. We haven't had a penalty called in maybe
thank God. 3
or 4 minutes. I think both teams are just kind of starting to find their footing. It was just really, really frenetic. And I think right now, Calvert Hall staff's going to try to run up a play, probably a fake flip as we've seen.
Yeah.
Try to get this go-ahead goal going into the second half.
Bob, does Boys Latin come out in zone?
I think probably. They've done it a lot in the past. They played some zone unsuccessfully, I might add, against Loyola the other day, but Calvert Hall has just had 3 or 4 quality shots coming down the hash marks. I wouldn't be at all surprised if BL didn't throw a little zone at them here, try to force them to think a little bit more
and
as opposed to be able to play,
With 35 seconds left in the half, you're going to make them throw more passes in order to succeed. Beautiful day for a game. Boys Latin in their home whites.
Yeah, they're going to play zone here, Booker. They are definitely playing zone. Number 7, Michael O'Neill's responsible for the inside, where Calvert Hall is extremely dangerous, especially with Sawyer and Daniel Kelly in there. And they got Michael Ubriaco up here at the top, and he can create some havoc.
He can knock down passes. Here is Ubriaco coming up. Herbert shot over the cage, backed up by Jacob Kelly, number 9. Reigning player of the year in the MIAA. Calvert Hall won the championship last year. 20 seconds now. Here's Mitchell looking for a seam.
There it is, just what they wanted them to do.
Knocked down. Here's Ubriaco. He looks back at the clock with 9.
He'll go to the goal, and he can shoot.
Grimes inside off of Smith. Still 1 second to go. No time, and that'll do her. What a first half. The Kelly and Associates MIAA Game of the Week presented by FCA Lacrosse.
Kelly and Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, payroll, and workforce challenges. Kelly and Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll is pleased to support CSE TV and the Game of the Week. Visit kellyway.com to put their people, technology, and services to work for you.
How's it? Booker Corrigan here with the Training Lace Halftime Report. We're going to go over some Under Armour All-American senior selections, as well as some college lacrosse updates. See who's looking good heading into the playoffs. The first wave of the Under Armour All-American selections came out from the MIAA, Jacob Kelly, Matt Brandow. I've seen a lot of both of these young men play all throughout their careers. Matt Brandow is a field general, reminds me a lot of an attackman named Justin Ward from Loyola, who won the national championship with them in 2012. Jacob Kelly, he is explosive. The left-hander loves playing with his younger brother Daniel Kelly on that attack for Calvert Hall. It'll be interesting because we also have them playing against each other today at BL Calvert Hall. That's a fantastic matchup, and we're looking forward to seeing who evolves. Second wave of the Under Armour senior selections came out. Lo and behold, two McDonough Screaming Eagles. Jack Simmons and B.J. Farrar. B.J., he is an every man's defenseman. I will tell you this, and I will go on record as saying, the only thing that B.J. doesn't do well is be 6'3". Everything else he excels at. Speed, anticipation, instincts, knowing where to be at the right time, and he moves the ball well. I actually don't think B.J. Farrar likes playing defense that much because he never turns the ball over. So it's interesting to see how that's going to evolve as McDonough gets down the wire. You talk about McDonough, you talk about their star midfielder, Jack Simmons. This kid is a stud. He can bring the noise with his right hand or his left hand. He gets the ball to the right guy at the right time when he's just the one more pass. He gets hockey assists. He's a player who could end up playing the full field at the college level because he is that athletic. Keep an eye on number 33 for the McDonough Screaming Eagles, Jack Simmons. Now, let's talk some college lacrosse. Maryland's your number one team. Connor Kelly is a star. He can make people miss. He can create his own offense, and he's got finishers. My favorite one is probably Bubba Fairman. Bubba does a great job on the field, but also it's that stick-to-itiveness that he has of bringing people together. He's got an infectious personality, an outstanding young man. Bubba Fairman does a nice job for the Maryland Terrapins, and of course Dan Morris in the goal doesn't hurt them at all. Talk about the growth of the game. Dan Morris is from Texas, and he is one of the best goaltenders in the country. The spread has been going on for years, and it continues. My next team to watch, Albany. Connor Fields, they say it's a lower body injury. It might rhyme with MCL. Not one to break news here at Corrigan Sports Enterprises during the Training Lace halftime report, but it might be. We hope he gets back. Tahoka Nanticoke has been picking up some of the slack for them, as has one of my main men, Davis Diamond. Fine young man from down in Florida. He can make people miss as well. He's getting used to the college game, and I think he's going to be a real plus for the Danes come playoff time. Next, the Double Ds, Denver and Duke. Everybody knows and everybody's talked about how Duke comes on strong in May. They know how to make a run. Coach Danowski is a great educator of the game, as is his Denver counterpart, Bill Tierney. These are guys who teach throughout the season, and that's how their teams have the ability to peak at the right time, and that's Memorial Day weekend. Denver, unbelievable attackman Ethan Walker, the Canadian. Bless up to all my boys for the Humboldt Broncos. My sticks are outside, by the way. Ethan Walker, the Canadian, does a great job for Denver. He can finish in tight spots. He can also rip it from the outside. Add Trevor Baptiste, the face-off king, and a great coach like Bill Tierney and Matt Brown doing the offense. You've got a recipe for success in Denver. I've already talked about Duke. Justin Gutterding, Gutter done. He's getting it done in the ACC. Duke looks like they might be the class of that group, but it is a tough group. We'll see how Syracuse, Notre Dame, and Virginia evolve through that season. For Training Lace, and if you need one of these, you can order them online, trainlace.com. It's a weight that you wrap right around your stick. Unbelievable way to get a little bit stronger, but you got to make sure your parents don't steal it because they might be walking the dog. They can take it out for a quick workout. Steal a workout. Go to trainlace.com. It's another thing you can buy online, and you don't have to return it because it's the wrong size because you can see what size it is. It's a great invention. It's a great way to get better at the game of lacrosse, the game we all love. For the MIAA Game of the Week, Kelly & Associates and FCA Lacrosse, I'm Booker Corrigan. We'll see you for the second half. The action is getting wild and the weather is getting awesome. Check down low, shot, goal, 2 seconds left. These are the games that you'll be talking about for years to come. Log on to MIAAlacrosse.com and make a single game purchase of $10 or buy the whole package. Rivalry Day, plus a quarterfinal, plus both semifinals, plus the championship, all for just $45. This is championship level lacrosse in Baltimore, and you're going to need to see it all. MIAAlacrosse.com.
At Toyota, we know the journey is as important as the destination. That's why no detail was overlooked. RAV4 is perfect for your adventures, with plenty of cargo space and available all-wheel drive. And with all these active safety features standard, we're always along for the ride. Now lease a versatile RAV for only $189 a month, or buy with $1,500 cash back, or 0% APR plus $500 finance cash. RAV4, your destination, our journey. What drives you? Toyota. Let's go places.
The MIAA is the most competitive lacrosse conference in the country. The 2018 MIAA Lacrosse Semifinals and Championships will be held May 15th and 18th at Towson University's Johnny Unitas Stadium. For a glimpse into the future of the collegiate game, the MIAA, where the stars of tomorrow play for a championship today.
Beautiful Friday afternoon, Booker, Corrigan, Bob Shriver here at that Training Lace halftime show. And Bob, just like the rug ties the room together, halftime highlights and stats tie the game together, and we got a lot of goals with 6 of them.
Boys hadn't scored the first 2. This is on extra man, a little fake flip. Phenomenal move by Grimes on the corner there. And this is just there. He just pulls his stick, face dodges for BL's first goal. And this is Kraus. I think Kraus was shooting to the far pipe. Great check by Connolly. It forced the ball to the near pipe and it went in. Now Calvert Hall gets on a roll on man up. They were just 2 man up there. There's a 2-minute non-releasable. They're going to score another really pretty goal here on another similar play.
Daniel Kelly on the finish.
And then here's a stick by Mitchell. Big Grant Mitchell just throws that thing up into the far corner. BL still down, man. Watch 50 going to cut right into this open seam here. BL misses him. And the big guy, Peter Ilardo, scored a nice goal right here, blowing away. And Boys Latin's going to knock this game back up on their extra man here shortly. This is a big save by Brandow on the crease. And then I think we'll see BL's tying goal. Here's a similar play. Fake flip to how they scored first. This time instead of throwing it down to the wing, he throws it down low to freshman Ben Smith.
Calvert Hall with 3 assisted goals, as you see there on the Training Lace halftime stats page. Saves. Chris Brandow with 8, playing superbly.
Well, Booker, that's as much a product of the penalty situation. Calvert Hall's been extra man for about 3.5, 4 minutes in this game, and 2 of those minutes are non-releasable. So they get to score, get the ball back, and score again, which they did.
And we also had a lot of non-faceoffs.
But when
Giberson and McPartland back
Booker,
at it. Go ahead.
When this game has settled down, as Dan alluded to a couple minutes ago, there's been some really great defense played by both teams.
Nice ground ball by Kraus.
And a great check by Connolly.
As I say that, he
ball
gets it
goes
checked
out of
away.
bounds. BL better check up quickly.
Daniel Kelly, number 45 for Calvert Hall, just a sophomore in his second year playing varsity alongside his brother, Jacob Kelly. And I know you have a great relationship with your brother, Bill Shriver. I mean, how much fun would it be to be out there with your brother? I played hockey and lacrosse with mine.
Well, it wouldn't have been any fun playing lacrosse with my brother. He only played lacrosse for about 2 years.
Cole Herbert, top right corner, guarded by Ubriaco. Gets a little separation, moves it behind. Here's Sawyer.
Here's one of those second chance opportunities. BL had possession of the ball.
Yeah.
And so far, Booker, at the face-off X, McDonough has gotten the majority of the clamps.
Connor Mitchell throws it in to Daniel Kelly, and he is checked and chop suey a couple times. Kraus has Ubriaco in the middle, makes a fake like he doesn't know he's there, and Ubriaco! You could feel that. And Ubriaco's going to stay in. He was so ready to let his fingers do the rock and keep that G coming all day long.
He didn't quite get to the middle of the field there, Booker. So he's shooting that from the high hash mark.
And he was still out of ways.
Yep. He stays in, sets a pick for Brandow. Got knocked over. He's coming out of the game now.
Brendan Grimes driving righty. Rolls back lefty shot just wide. Third quarter brought to you by the Columbia Bank. Banking made easy. The Columbia Bank's proud to be the official bank of MIAA Lacrosse. TheColumbiaBank.com. Bank easier online all the time. Member FDIC, and my Columbia Bank guys love going to the Valley Inn to watch these games. Grab shell, dude. 3-3 in a tight one. Basil Aburn.
Well, after last week's game when Boys Latin shot virtually every shot high, and they lost probably because of it, they've shot most of their balls today have been bounce shots. A couple are guilty of bouncing the ball over the goal, but it is at least they semi-learn from their mistakes.
Brendan Grimes goes low to low on that one.
Little mumbo
and they
Booker.
they're running great offense right now again. You know, we're spoiled with so many great coaches in this league. We are very fortunate to have people who coach so they can do what's best for kids and help them become the best possible version of themselves, right, Bob? In that way, coach's goal is to help a kid become the best possible version of himself, and that's why you're in the business, and we are lucky to have what we have. Oh!
There's Kraus.
Kraus feeling it.
That time, Conley didn't get a check on him, and Kraus threw that ball exactly where he wanted. Really beautiful play. Splits left. That's the first face-off earlier.
As we go back to the top, Boys Latin now in the lead again. They were up 2-0. Calvert Hall came storming back. And now it's 4-3 Lake Show. Woo. McPartland rakes it. And they make a play on it as Ben Witham, little fake, as Giberson, excuse me. That is Brendan McClure. As the winds pick up a little bit.
He's open right in the middle of the field.
And now it is Giberson quickly inside. Man on his back. Booth had him, knew he was there.
Great play by McClure.
And Ryan Evans hustling too. Here's Grimes.
Great play by McClure on that. Contested ground ball, incredible traffic. He whirled his dervish out of that and made then be held with a successful
He whirled his dervish. Is that what the kids are calling it now?
I have no idea.
You are rolling on 420. Here comes Smith. Here is Brendan Grimes now. Across the top, Ryan Evans. Evans draws the slide. Now it's behind with Brandow. Brandow drives up to that high side, but Zingalia, he's just come on.
Up to the task, Zingalia.
Zingalia's a tremendous defender.
Yeah, he sure has. Has been this year. The game he put on against McDonough was really something to watch, I thought.
Top side now, Cole Erickson. Like what I've seen out of him so far. Shot goal, Cole Erickson.
My Lord. A bounce shot, Booker.
A Paris Hilton.
A bounce shot. And I can't emphasize enough how much BL must have stressed that this week after watching that, everything going high. That's an unsavable shot. That has got nothing to do with the abilities of Liam Dara. This ball bounces right up into the corner. How are you going to save that?
5-3 Lakers. And Bob, you're right. That is an unsavable shot.
I give that goal right there to number 33. who picked up that ball on that last wing on
McClure.
the face-off.
Was he the one who whirled his dervish? As Ubriaco comes up with one at Calvert Hall again with the ride and a high hit. I am not, and Bob, I'm not going to let you say it because I don't like the call either.
Well, first off, as soon as the stick was on the ground, the kid, they blow the whistle right away for playing without the stick. Let's see what happens here.
Here's Ubriaco, plays it off his foot,
watch.
And scoops it.
Okay, now watch. So now he's playing without his stick, and they called that a high hit. Ooh, that's too bad. Another tough one.
Yep.
Play some great man-down defense.
As my man Crush would say, grab shell, dude. Gonna make something happen here defensively.
Calvert Hall in a 1-4-1. They're rotating into a kind of an offset 3-3.
Great skip pass by Jacob Kelly, but nothing to show for it. Kelly fakes now inside shot. Sawyer, it goes wide. You see Brandow diving.
Sawyer's terrific inside. He gets open all the time inside, and Jacob obviously knows to throw him the ball.
Men Up brought to you by Towson Hot Bagel. Breakfast, lunch, and catering. My THB. Download the app. Towson Hot Bagel, proud to be a part of the MIAA Game of the Week here on CSE TV and MIAA Lacrosse. Shot by Alardo goes wide, and again you see Brandow diving.
Brandow diving, Herbert making a nice backup.
Herbert, here's Daniel Kelly, now Alardo to Jacob Kelly.
Jacob Kelly's going to throw a box fake here in a second.
As the wind picks up again, penalty winding down, shot. Couldn't tell if it was leg. McClure got the backup there, and the referee made the right call. Great hustle by McClure.
And the penalty's up, Booker. DL dodged the bullet on that one. Quality defense, and fortunate that they stung one off the pipe.
Third quarter brought to you by the Columbia Bank. Banking made easy. Lakers looking to clear. They do so. And here's Brendan Grimes with plenty of time to get it in.
And here's Ryan Corrigan, our producer. I don't know where he's been, Booker.
I haven't seen him all day.
But the show has worked.
Must be nice.
Has run flawlessly without him, hasn't it?
Must be nice. As the Lake Show gets off a shot. 6:40 remaining, third quarter brought to you by the Columbia Bank. And we got a great one. Bob, we've had some great games this year. We've been very fortunate in the way that you've crafted the schedule. Grimes, right-handed.
Look, that was a high shot. There's the penalty. A trip. That's a good call. He got tripped.
Yep, he did trip. He didn't mean to, and I hate the trippings for a minute because no one ever means really to trip somebody.
It was a good save by Dara, but wow, with all the success they've had in bouncing the ball today, I think, look at this save. Good save by Dara.
Yeah, he tripped him.
He put him on the ground.
Calvert Hall.
Calvert Hall is getting tremendous extra man practice.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
And sooner or later, you can't hold them off forever.
Chris Brandow in the running for that Under Armour Underclass Player of the Game. If you are looking to challenge yourself against the best players in your area, make sure you go to UnderArmourLacrosse.com and register for that tryout. Kelly, spinorama. Looks like he's whirling his dervish a little bit there, Bob. Go Herbert. Oh, what a save by Brandow. Staring down.
Stepped right to that shot. Beautiful save.
He's got serious thrill issues. Staring him down. Reagan McNamara now far corner. Goes cross field for Blake Gable. Gable with the head of steam.
Here comes Herbert. Oh, nice play. Nice play.
Here's Kraus. Kraus has Ubriaco open. Kraus wants some. Just wide.
That's okay. That was a great play. BL needs to hold this for 14 seconds to finish off this penalty.
Good job, B. Let's go down to Dan Aburn and hear what he has. What have you learned so far in the third quarter, Dan?
Guys, how excellent has Chris Brandow been in this game? I think
Phenomenal.
in the second quarter alone, he had 5 straight saves. And just from what I'm seeing from the Calvert Hall shooters, it looks like his play is starting to get in their head a little bit. They're starting to, hesitate on some looks and making sure they're working for that best shot. But either way, he's just been a brick wall today so far, ever since the end of that first quarter.
Grimes comes out lefty. Ubriaco sets a pick. Grimes getting And now possession is awarded to Calvert Hall on the restart.
That's the move and pick call, Booker, that's very much in play now. You just can't move. Ubriaco might have been pushed off that a little bit, but that's the motion that they're looking for, and they called the move and pick, Calvert Hall possession.
Third quarter brought to you all the time by Columbia Bank. Banking made easier. ColumbiaBank.com. Bank easier online all the time to remember the FDIC. Columbia Bank. Ball on the ground again. This is some great defense we're seeing today, Bob. And some great riding.
Good
Nice
ground
little
ball
backside.
by freshman A.J. Hernandez. Slash, no call.
And I'll tell you.
we could say that a bunch today. Give it to him.
Here's Kevin Davis. Has Ubriaco. Ubriaco now covered. And Davis draws
they
the
got
foul.
a penalty.
Is Kevin Davis going to go to the goal? I want to see KD dunk.
I can tell you BL's taking a big collective.
Yes, a big sigh. They're up 5-3.
And they're going to get an extra man.
Shot too early.
Just one more
Brandau.
step.
Extra step to greatness, like our man Quint says. You used to coach with Quint.
Hey, Quint got that from Steve Thomas, Towson Town midget coach in like 1990.
Here's a replay of the foul. You see Davis make up his mind, I'm going, and there's the slash. There's another one.
And that's the one that was the one he finally. Oh, there's the one he finally called.
Yeah. He got his third. He got 3 for a nickel right there.
That's okay. 3 for a quarter.
Man
BL's
up.
been successful on 2 extra mans today.
Man up brought to you by Towson Hot Bagels. Here's Booth, now Grimes. Grimes to Kaplan. Round the horn they go. Brandau behind. Now Brandau on the wing because it's Ben Smith behind. I'm going to learn the difference. Oh, we're
Got to have another foul down. Kind of a little cheap shot on the crease. Calvert Hall's guilty of just punching somebody in his back, and the referee saw it. So BL gets another freebie.
Now, do you try
They
and run
prefer
something?
to get a shot off here quickly, and if it doesn't go in, they'd rather be 2 man up than 1 man up, but nice play.
And that'll bring about the whistle. That's fine for BL. They have 18 seconds now with which to work. Let's learn of the foul. Looks like number 47.
We called a
hustling
slash,
off.
so they're going to be up a man, 2 man for 18 seconds, and then another man for 42 after that. See him come up behind him, and he chunked him in the back, and the referee
Here's the
saw it.
replay. Inside.
Watch.
Oh, he little flick of the wrist. NHL playoff intensity, Bob. NHL playoff intensity. My Flyers doing great against the Penguins. Held them to a 5-0 win last night. Real victory, moral victory for the Flyers.
Booker, as so often happens, all the mistakes and penalties, and they inevitably balance themselves out. And this game would be reasonable proof of that.
Here's Krause. Grimes.
Calvert Hall's playing really good, solid man-down defense.
Tucker Booth, 25 on that backside, looking to get his stick in a passing lane.
This is the extra man back here. They need Booth. They need Brandau to...
Grimes top center to Booth.
They need Brandau to drive aside hard.
Inside feed, shot, goal! Kaplan, go do that voodoo that you do so well. Number 41 for Boys Latin, spooking around on the inside, Bob.
Well, they got to get the ball back to Brandau. He's the key. They got to force somebody to play him, and that makes it 5-on-4 up front. Kaplan's very adept at the inside. It's a wonderful feed to Kaplan's stick. Look, puts it right on his stick. Kaplan's going to finish that 9 times out of 10.
He does know how to cut. He knows how to get open. And Brandau loves getting assists. McPartland against Giberson. It looked like... Calvert Hall.
Great ground ball by Connolly. Tremendous.
And now the Lakers get a chance to ride. Here's Dara.
Were you counting, Booker, 30 seconds?
No, I just wanted to maintain the peace. Let the game breathe just a little bit. Here's Herbert.
Both schools, Booker, have 3 extra man goals, which is clearly been the difference in the game in many respects. BL scored a couple even man goals and have been very fortunate to hold Calvert Hall scoreless in even man situations so far.
Which you don't see that coming with the talent that's on this Calvert Hall squad. Here's Herbert, comes off the Connor Mitchell pick. Connor Mitchell 11, Grant Mitchell 10. Yes, they are related.
And here's going to see if they don't try a little mumbo play here.
Herbert inside feed. Connor Mitchell shot off iron
save.
Or leg, couldn't tell. And Lakers come up with the ball. That is Blake Gable. And now it's Ubriaco, no stranger to transition goals. Grimes. And I think BL might have gone offsides. 2, 4, 6, and then a guy in the box.
A little too anxious on that one.
What did they get late getting the guy on the field there, Dan, or what happened? Did you notice what was going on?
Yeah, it just looks like a little bit of confusion subbing. One guy went over without communicating it.
And the referee looks out on the field and says, Spalding, get your foot off the boat. Not at the table, Carlos.
BL, I wonder if they won't slip into this zone here late in this quarter. Nope, they're going to stay man. Winding down, 25 seconds, Booker.
Late third quarter. Thrilled to have you make us part of your sports viewing day. Booker, Corrigan, Bob Shriver. And here's Connor Mitchell. Daniel Kelly pops off the crease. Connor Mitchell shot. Hits Brandow in the leg. I can tell by the way he's stepping. Makes a great play. What a tough kid. I tell you what, Chris Brandow has my vote right now for the Under Armour Player of the Game. We still have the fourth quarter on its way. This is the Kelly & Associates Game of the Week presented by FCA Lacrosse.
Thunder Bay Apparel is the hottest lacrosse-exclusive clothing line in the game. Thunder Bay's t-shirts and hats flash a little lacrosse lifestyle into your wardrobe. Thunder Bay's pigment-dyed, ring-spun cotton t-shirts immediately feel like you've owned them for years because nobody wants to wear that other polyester fabric every day. Make sure you check out the new styles and designs. All you got to do is click on ThunderBayApparel.com.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes engages their coaches and athletes to grow their faith through sport. Make sure you investigate the amazing camp at Lebanon Valley College this July. The FCA has camps, clinics, huddles, teams. Learn more about the Fellowship of Christian Athletes by going to fcalax.com.
Nice little crowd shot so far here as we get into the fourth quarter. Lakers up 6-3. Bob, what do you notice so far?
Well, the penalties have been a huge issue. They've basically now, after 3 quarters, balanced themselves out. Both schools have 3 extra man goals. BL's been fortunate, I mean really fortunate, that Chris Brandow's playing tremendous in the goal. Calvert Hall hit a couple pipes in that quarter, and they've been able to break open that 3-3 halftime tie. Booker, there's one thing that we're going to look for here. In boys Latin's last 2 games, they have not scored a goal in the fourth quarter. And I'm sure they'd love to break that trend today.
Giverson wins the clamp. McPartland now pushes away. There's Calvert Hall comes away with possession. Nice play by Connolly.
Connolly with 2 really great ground balls on the last couple face-offs.
Jacob Kelly to brother Daniel. Dan Aburn, the 3rd member of our broadcast team. Dan, you're set up shop up atop the Four Seasons. What's it like down there to start the 4th?
I was actually talking to our student statisticians on the sideline here. They count 10 saves since the first quarter for Chris Brandow. I agree with you, Booker. I think he's my player of the game so far. But, of course, we've got, about a little bit more than 11 minutes left in this game. Tons of lacrosse to be played. But so far, if this scoreline holds, he's my player of the game.
And it's great to have you down there, Dan. I'm not supposed to be within 200 feet of a school or a Chuck E. Cheese. As Mitchell to Mitchell.
Overplay is left, which they did.
Oh, shot, goal!
The Mitchell brothers teamed up there.
That is Grant Mitchell, number 10. Connor Mitchell, number 11. Again, you alluded to him being out for a hamstring. He looks like he's healing up pretty nicely just when the Cardinals need him.
It's funny, that goal looked a little bit like a changeup almost. Brando had the read on it, but he was not anticipating it being that speed.
I think Chris, he's pointing on after that goal. Let's see the goalie. I'm not sure he really saw the ball come out of his stick.
You see Kevin Davis come up and get a stick on him.
Chris just was a little disappointed that the fence didn't get out on his hands a little bit better.
McPartland battling. And the Lakers come away with it. Basil Aburn, and he comes out with an advantage. Pump fakes to Brandow.
Good check by Hine by number 3.
And Liam
who
Dyer
kept chasing the play. Calvert Hall Pole, Will Thompson, who was on that wing, kept chasing after Brandow and made a nice check right as Brandow was getting ready to release that ball.
Fourth quarter brought to you by your friends at Durham Capital. Durham Capital providing funding for public and private companies. Proud to be a part of the game of the week. And an errant pass. And just like that, Matt Brandow comes up with it. Looks to Grimes. Aburn cutting. They settle with Brandow.
Big break there. Just an errant catch, actually. Ball bounced off Calvert Hall's stick right into Brandow's stick. Fortunate play for Boys Latin. Now they get one of these second chance opportunities.
Tucker Booth in, number 25 here for the Lake Show. He and Brendan Krause.
And Calvert Hall has no pole on the field, Booker. We rarely see these events happen in any lacrosse game, especially at the high school and college level.
Aburn plays some pass. Now it's Krause. Both men cut through. Herbert comes out, gives him some wood. Gives him a little bit more. Krause almost had the moving pick there. Smart to elude it. Now Grimes gets by the short stick. Shot Grimes off hip. Just wide.
Herbert plays really solid defense, but he extends his arms a lot. We'll see if the referees don't keep their eye on that a little bit.
Brandow comes back, rolls shoot.
And Calvert Hall does not have Garrett Zungalia on the field. So Boys Latin would love an opportunity to exploit the fact that they have no pole.
And no Zungalia.
And no Zungalia.
Here's Krause. Gets by, draws the foul.
Free
Booth
hand.
shot. Well, he gets
another
dumped.
Foul. They're going to...
BL's got to like their chances right now. 6-4 with 8:40 to go. Brandow drives the cage. And now we will have a chance to learn of the fouls. Things heating up. And I'll tell you, Bob, in the beginning of the game, Calvert Hall was getting some man-ups. It looks like Boys Latin is getting some man-ups here later in the game.
Well, I would say just subtly different.
Yeah.
That a couple of the penalties that BL had were great calls, but a couple that they missed against Calvert Hall are now catching up on Calvert Hall. They're going to be down 2 men.
A slap in the back, and here's a shot by Booth.
That's a late hit.
And he just gets
That's on Herbert.
crushed.
That's a silly, silly foul. They're going to be down 2 men.
And it is a tremendous setting here.
High hit.
Brandow. Man-ups brought to you by Towson Hot Bake, my THB. Deli, breakfast, lunch, and catering. Brandow to Krause. Smith steps up outside the cage. Little man ball opportunity behind. Kaplan goes to help. Dara makes a nifty little play on it. And now saved at his own end. We get a push, and it's going to be Boys Latin ball. And they squared up right away with 35 still remaining in the man up. Krause.
They're going to fake. Now see if they don't get back set up in their play. They still got 25 seconds.
Here's Smith.
Little fake flip behind here, Booker.
Smith comes
nice picked
out
up.
with it.
47. Jake Snyder, nice play.
Jake's played a nice game today on the Calvert Hall defensive end of the field. Here's Krause up top. Brandow to Grimes. Grimes hitches, comes out. Shot just
There's
over
another
the cage.
great check by 47.
Jake Snyder.
Jake Snyder, two really impressive checks in a row.
Timely.
All even, timely. Zungalia back on the field for the Cardinals with Jack Conley, excuse me.
Kraus uses the pick from Kaplan, accelerates. Inside feed to Booth. It goes off his stick. Don't know if it's going to make it or not. Brandow is alone.
Wow. Great hustle by Brandow. Great hustle.
Matt Brandow proving every time I watch him play why he was selected for that Under Armour senior team, along with Jacob Kelly, number 9 for Calvert Hall. Two guys who were in the first wave. The next wave 3 and 4 due out soon. Make sure you check in for a shot goal. Brendan Kraus. And that is 7. If you will it, it is no dream. A good day to you, sir.
Kraus is having a great game. This is his 3rd goal. And I hate to keep beating a dead horse, Booker, but they shot the ball low. They've had success shooting the ball under Dara. You can't shoot it high on him. He's just too big. And they're going underneath him. Quality goal set up by a tremendous hustle play by Matt Brandow out here on the sideline. We've seen a lot of great hustle by both teams today, Booker.
Great little decision-making by Kraus on that one. Had a short stick right in front of him, scream, goalie had only half a second to make that reaction.
Booker, I'd say the biggest or the most unusual thing in this game has been Ham McPartland's gotten just about every draw.
Yep.
They haven't gotten every ball, but he's gotten every draw, and that's unusual and a credit to the hard work Calvert Hall put into the face-off this week.
Here is Mitchell, number 10, top center. Mitchell gets some time and acceleration. Connor Mitchell, shot goal, Connor Mitchell.
Mitchell brothers.
Are you feeling it, Evil?
2 in a row. Connor to Grant, now Grant back to Connor. It seems to be a pretty nice combination.
Running downhill right there. And I'll tell you what, when Connor Mitchell starts running like that, he's faster than my caddy when it's going downhill. Little LL Cool J for you there, Bob. I know you recognized LL right away.
Again, there's McPartland again.
McPartland right down. And
great timeout by Coach Kelly. He was about to lose that ball. A timely timeout.
He is the veteran of the league. You're watching the Kelly & Associates MIAA Game of the Week presented by FCA Lacrosse.
Represent for Rough Rider Nation. The Rough Riders have been on top of the game since 2007. Rough Rider alums continue to shine and won national championships at all levels. Rough Rider teams dominate the countryside in Maryland, Pennsylvania, and now Virginia. Check us out online at roughriderlacrosse.com. It's time to ride or die.
1, 2, 3, ride!
Yo, Sean.
Yeah, ride!
And there you go, your MIAA championships for 2018 at Towson University, May 15th and 18th. Make sure you check it out or get on to MIAAlacrosse.com. Fantastic setting at Towson, easy parking. It's going to be a beautiful night. And if you can't make it, we're going to have those games available as well.
Coach Kelly saved a huge possession there, Booker. Goalie change for Calvert Hall. They have taken Liam Dyer out of the goal and put in sophomore Jackson Marshall, who replaced him on Friday night in the St. Mary's game. That's a gutsy play to put a young guy into a game with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. BL's back to their zone, and there's one thing they're hoping to do, which is
Herbert gets a step out of the over-aggression.
And they're going to lose the ball. That'll be BL's ball.
Another thing the zone does, Bob,
absolutely.
Is that right?
Well, Herbert They got the ball on the ground, which is what they wanted, and Herbert saw Ubriaco had run out, so they're out of their zone. So Herbert took that ball to the goal. Not a bad play.
Lake Show now clearing 5:35 fourth quarter, brought to you by Durham Capital.
BL's onside.
Here's Kraus. Kraus rolls back.
And throws it away. Good ride again by Calvert Hall. Successful ride.
Pushes it up. Here is Connor Mitchell. Connor Mitchell gets a step, throws diagonal. Sawyer handles it, but the double team comes, and Boys Latin kind of had him fall into a trap there of over pushing. Reagan McNamara. Basil Aburn.
Coach Farrell, he also has a couple timeouts in his pocket. Coach Kelly's down to 1.
Which pocket does he keep him in?
I think in his right. He's a righty.
Front, okay, back right, but I keep my wallet back there. Lake Show with the clear. Here's freshman Ben Smith. Basil Aburn, now Brendan Kraus. Kraus, one of your choices for player of the game so far?
Well, he's been pretty impressive, and he's on a shorty now. He's been drawing the pole.
And the Laker shooters have to have noticed that there's a new goalie in, because they're by no means physically similar. Jackson Marshall, number 23, in goal for Calvert Hall. Now they switch at about the 6.5 minute mark. Grimes, righty, comes back left, shot, save on the inside. Nice tight save by Jackson Marshall.
Brendan didn't get that ball where he wanted it, but Marshall was where he was supposed to be and made a nice save.
We are well below the 4:20 mark here in the fourth quarter. 7-5, just a 2-goal game.
He's not in the box yet.
And he will not be, as Michael Ubriaco
picked the ball up. Picked the ball up. This is bad.
Daniel Kelly goes righty. Shot.
Another big save.
Away.
Oh, my Lord.
By Brandow, they're going to call a push against Boys Latin. It's going to be Calvert Hall possession, 3:32.
Coach has a timeout. He didn't call it. He could have. See if BL doesn't fall back into this zone, which they are doing, Booker.
Seems like you know a lot about the BL lacrosse program, Bob. Mitchell to Mitchell. Connor Mitchell.
BL needs to maintain their shape in this zone.
Grant Mitchell, wing, right to right shot, no good. And I'm not sure I'm seeing Jacob Kelly on the field right now for Calvert Hall.
Good point, Booker. That's highly unusual. He's got to be nicked up. Something's going on.
Dan, what do you know?
Yeah, he came off the field and he was on his knees for about two or 3 minutes and getting tended to the trainer. He's back up and walking now, but he looks like he's got something going on the lower body. But, yeah, he is not out there.
I tell you, it really is NHL playoff seasons when you hear Dan Aburn telling us it's lower body injury. Everything staying tight. 2.5 minutes now remaining, fourth quarter, brought to you by Durham Capital. This is the Kelly & Associates MIAA Game of the Week presented by FCA Lacrosse.
Good check. That's what he's there for.
The zone makes you do that. And Reagan McNamara, a guy you highlighted in the open, Bob, got to hand it to you. Nice little move by him.
And a flag down. BL's going to get everything they want right here. They can hold this ball for a little bit with the flag down.
2 minutes left. We don't want to prematurely celebrate if we're Boys Latin. We are at
absolutely
BL
not.
in home.
Take your time. Substitute your guys in. Force them to throw the shot clock on you, Booker, and then BL's going to have an extra man for 30 seconds, maybe a minute, when you can't have a shot clock on you. Good play by Cal.
And the shot clock. Brendan Grimes just running with it.
He doesn't have to call a timeout, Booker.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Because they're going to get the ball. Great play. Really not calling this timeout by Coach Farrell. Very heads-up coaching there. Recognizes they're going to get the ball anyway.
All you want is the clock to run. And if you call timeout, I think it stops the clock.
That's a cross-check, Booker. 1 minute. And that means...
Here it is. Here it is on the monitor.
Well, he broke his stick. I think that's why he called it.
That gives you a little bit of indication of the size of the Mitchells. That was Connor Mitchell. And I even heard from Taylor Stodoff that he thought it was a cross check. I mean, he's a guy who knows the game, Bob. You had the pleasure of coaching Taylor, as you have so many great young men here.
Who, the Energizer Bunny?
Yeah.
Taylor Stodoff. Very few had Taylor's ability to run on a lacrosse field for 48 minutes consistently with no stopping.
7-5 your score. A beautiful setting for lacrosse. Booker Corrigan, Bob Shriver, and Dan Aburn bringing it to you. And Bob, I said it earlier, the job of a coach is to help a kid become the best possible version of themselves. How is Calvert Hall going to become the best version of themselves right now? They're going to kill off a penalty. They're going to score 2 goals. How can this team pull this out, or can they pop the corks on Lake Avenue?
Well, we'll see how Calvert Hall plays this. Marshall's a little bit more agile in the Golden Dare. Some teams have been known to put their goalie on the offensive end of the field
and play with 7.
And play with 6 defensemen down at this end because they're down a man. But Marshall's coming back in the goal. They're just going to chase. They're going to chase big time. Coach Farrell still has both timeouts, I believe, because that one was called by Coach Kelly. And we'll see. Boys Latin cannot, again, as we said, Booker, they cannot be warned for stalling when there is a man advantage. Either way, you can't be warned for stalling.
But Calvert Hall can still take it away, and that's what they're looking to do.
And again, Coach, remember, the coach has a timeout.
As Matt Brando carries it, there is the timeout called. With 46 seconds remaining, we're going to step away briefly. Great action. Don't go anywhere. Calvert Hall might make something happen.
The MIAA is the most competitive lacrosse conference in the country. The 2018 MIAA Lacrosse Semifinals and Championships will be held May 15th and 18th at Towson University's Johnny Unitas Stadium. For a glimpse into the future of the collegiate game, the MIAA, where the stars of tomorrow play for a championship today.
And Booker Corrigan, Bob Shriver here with Dan Aburn. Bob, you were just talking about what is Calvert Hall's strategy here with the ball behind the goal?
Well, since it's behind the goal, they'll double the ball, I think, immediately, which they're setting up to do. Boys Latin's going to look, I think, to get the ball to whoever the goalie is covering. Get everybody else out of the way and let whoever the goalie's covering try to go help and support the ball. Now, Krause can run. He can definitely run.
And Krause comes right around the cage, but then opts to possess.
Grimes got to get off his horse and move a little bit here.
Tucker Booth runs a little bit of clock. Now it's back with Krause. Krause is going to flip the brand out. Excuse me, Smith.
Well, they're under a minute. Nice look.
Krause again with a chance to
move the ball.
Shoot the ball.
Just keep it moving. Under 45 now, Booker.
10 seconds remaining on the Calvert Hall penalty, and Grimes looks to run some clock. Brendan Grimes has played unbelievably efficient here today.
And this just tires any defensive personnel out like crazy. Great play by Grimes just then.
And Coach Farrell still has a timeout in his pocket.
He can't call it until they're back in the box. And this game is over.
22 seconds left.
Booker, you got to give BL a little credit here. They did a tremendous job eating this. Tough on Calvert Hall, chasing when you're down a man. And for Boys Latin, they just lost 2 games in a row to come back and beat what many people consider the best team this year, although McDonough and Loyola are sitting at the top of the heap. This is a colossal win, and give the kids and Coach Farrell and his staff a lot of credit for responding after 2 tough games in the greatest league in the United States.
The most competitive high school lacrosse league in the galaxy, really.
Unbelievable.
That we know of.
And there's Guyverson winning his first clean face-off of the day.
Dan Aburn, what's the tempo? What's the temperature for Boys Latin right now?
There's going to be a big celebration,
They're
Booker.
definitely feeling it.
And we need to pick.
Don't need to pick. That is it. We got our players of the game, Chris Brandow and Brendan Krause. What a day Dan, I'm thrilled to have you grab up Brandow and Kraus for the players of the game. Bob, your final thoughts. Didn't see that coming, did you?
I did not see it coming. Brandow was sensational when he had to be. The penalties eventually evened themselves out during the course of the game. And Boys Latin gave up 2 even-man goals the whole day. They gave up 3 man-down goals. You got to give the credit. And, of course, standing in the net huge today was Brandow. Holding Calvert Hall to 5 goals. They rang up 16 or 18, was it, against St. Mary's the other night?
Yep.
They've been off all this week. They had a bye on Tuesday. So holding that team to 5 goals is a tribute to the goaltending, sensational defense.
A tremendous day for lacrosse. Thank you to Invicta. For Dan Aburn, he's coming back with the players of the game. You know Coach Brian Kelly is going to help temper the expectations. Calvert Hall, Brian Farrell for Boys Latin. For Bob Shriver, I'm Booker Corrigan reminding you, you only get one shot at today. Don't go anywhere. Dan Aburn's back with our interviews.
The MIAA is the most competitive lacrosse conference in the country. The 2018 MIAA Lacrosse Semifinals and Championships will be held May 15th and 18th at Towson University's Johnny Unitas Stadium. For a glimpse into the future of the collegiate game, the MIAA, where the stars of tomorrow play for a championship today.
Kelly & Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, payroll, and workforce challenges. Kelly & Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll is pleased to support CSE TV and the Game of the Week. Visit kellyway.com to put their people, technology, and services to work for you.
Great news! Corrigan Sports Enterprises and Inside Lacrosse are pleased to announce that registration is open for coaches to nominate their most deserving seniors to be Under Armour All-Americans. Underclass tryout registration is also open, and we've added a new region, the Connecticut-New York region, for information and to register. Grad years from 2019 to 2022 need to go to UnderArmourLacrosse.com.
Thunder Bay Apparel is the hottest lacrosse-exclusive clothing line in the game. Thunder Bay's t-shirts and hats flash a little lacrosse lifestyle into your wardrobe. Thunder Bay's pigment-dyed, ring-spun cotton t-shirts immediately feel like you've owned them for years because nobody wants to wear that other polyester fabric every day. Make sure you check out the new styles and designs. All you got to do is click on ThunderBayApparel.com.
The Under Armour tryouts remain the premier recruiting event of the summer for high school players looking to be seen by college coaches at every level. Step up and measure yourself against the best players in your region. Register at UnderArmourLacrosse.com. The Summer Rumble is headed back to Richmond June 9th and 10th, and we are now a U.S. Lacrosse National Qualifier and sanctioned event. The Rumble brings together a wealth of top talent from the best club programs at the amazing River City Sportsplex with their 12 lighted turf fields. As a U.S. Lacrosse sanctioned event, you can expect the highest quality tournament regarding operations, safety, and experience. Go to CSELax.com for information and to register now.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes engages their coaches and athletes to grow their faith through sport. Make sure you investigate the amazing camp at Lebanon Valley College this July. The FCA has camps, clinics, huddles, teams. Learn more about the Fellowship of Christian Athletes by going to FCALax.com.
Corrigan Sports Enterprises is a full-service sports marketing and event management company. Every detail from marketing, public relations, logistics, and cleanup, Corrigan Sports Enterprises handles events from conception to fruition. The premier lacrosse and field hockey recruiting tournaments and high-profile running events. Corrigan Sports Enterprises, bringing your dreams to life.
The June 2nd Baltimore 10 Miler always has awesome premiums, and it will once again start and finish right at the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore. Join over 5,000 runners in the region's premier 10-mile race. The course winds through Druid Hill Park, a lap around scenic Lake Montebello, and alongside the campus of Johns Hopkins. The course runs up and down historic 33rd Street, where you might pull off a miracle of your own. Sign up now at baltimore10miler.com.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Huddles, camps, teams, building three-dimensional athletes and coaches.
What's up, everybody? I'm here with the players of the game, Chris Brandow, Brendan Krause. Chris, first question for you is, Tuesday you guys gave up 12 goals. You made a huge defensive statement in KJA and as a defense. How important was that today?
This was a huge game defensively, coming off that 12-goal game against Loyola. I thought our coaching staff did a great job game planning, really instilling some toughness in our defense. Practice Wednesday and Thursday, we had great days. So coming out here, we needed to make a statement defensively, and I think we did a great job on that.
And Brendan, shooting the ball, so much improved today. Lots of bouncers we saw from you guys. What was the impetus going in this game? What were you guys working on the past couple days?
As Chris said, last 2 days of practice has been quite challenging. We went really hard, a lot of juice, a lot of up and down. But as an offense, we got to beat some guys. Calvert Hall doesn't like to slide to the shorties, stuff in the middies. So, today with the coaches challenged all the offense to just get to the goal, get people to draw and get some unassisted goals. So that's what we try to do. And, they have a big goalie, so he doesn't get down low as much, so shoot low. That was really the plan.
And, losing 2 games in a row doesn't feel like that happens at Boys Latin. How important was it to come back, get this huge MIAA victory for you guys?
Oh, this was huge. This was a huge game. Obviously, you can't drop a lot of games in this league, and the conference being so competitive this year, it was huge to get up and get this big home win. I'm glad we could do it in front of a bunch of people, too.
All right, guys, that's all from us. We appreciate you listening in and watching this game. We'll see you next time.